Yeah.
I've got to do it, Pam. I've got to call the police.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
No, wait. I'm not questioning your determination to do what's right, but what will be accomplished by it other than the alienation of your children and a lot of suffering? Didn't you promise Sam that you would protect her if you possibly could?
Sam. She's the real innocent in all this. She and Kathy. Kathy. What am I going to say to Kathy?
Nothing yet. Just take some time for yourself. Reassure her if you can, but don't tell her anything yet.
Mr. Riley, I've considered your offer. I've spoken to Rebecca about it, and I've decided to accept it.
Oh, it took you long enough, didn't it, Abbott?
Well, it's a big step. Foreign correspondent. Oh, that's the major leagues.
Don't tell me you didn't think you could handle it.
Oh, I know I can handle it, sir. Oh, what about salary?
When can you leave?
I asked you a question about salary.
I heard you. When can you leave?
Well, I don't know. Next week? End of this week? I don't know.
Passport up to date?
Well, mine is, but Becky has to get hers.
Well,
What about
Abbott,
the salary?
I put that through payroll this morning, Abbott.
You mean I'm going to get... You're raising my salary up to this...
Go on, get out of here, will you, Abbott? Start packing. I got another lousy story from the Paris Bureau this morning. I need you over there.
I'm on my way, sir. Thank you, Mr. Riley. I'm very grateful. Mr. Riley, can I ask you one question?
Are you packed yet?
Just one question. Something's been bothering me. You didn't choose me because I'm a member of the family, did you?
Abbott, I wouldn't send myself out on assignment if I didn't think I could cut it. Now get out of here and get packed. I've got work to do.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hi, Richard.
Hi, Edwina.
I just heard about your new assignment. I think it's marvelous. When do you leave?
Well, the sooner the better, I guess.
What about your personal plans?
Well, things are still up in the air. Becky and I aren't getting married here, but I think we'll get married over there. Maybe at my mother's place in Switzerland, huh? Hey, I've got to go. I'll see you later.
Right.
What can I do for you, Edwina?
Well, I was wondering if I could talk to you about, republishing some of your columns for Impulse magazine. Several people have talked to me about it, and I've been down in the morgue going over the files. I think they'd make a marvelous feature, a regular feature. They're so timeless.
Mrs. Hopkins, I was beginning to think I misunderstood you. I've been ringing that bell forever.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I was off dreaming about our trip. Well, I'm going to go get my purse. We'll lock up and go.
Whoa, wait a minute. I want to ask you a question. I was dying to ask you on the phone, but I thought Richard might be here. What did he say when you told him?
I didn't tell him, Miss Hopkins.
Oh, Becky. Well, when are you going to? Now, listen, you cannot go running around Europe and just pretend that your past never happened.
Why not?
Because sooner or later it's going to catch up to you.
Well, it'll probably be later over there, right?
I don't care about later, Becky, but there will be a day.
Well, we'll be together until then. It'll be months or maybe even longer than that.
I want to ask you something. Do you think you could make Richard happy? Do you think that you yourself could be happy when you know that any minute of any day the whole thing could end?
Everything ends, Miss Hopkins. I think I can make Richard happy, and I know I can be happy. We're just going to live one day at a time like everybody else does. I mean, after all, isn't that what we all have to do? I'm going to go get you coffee while it's still hot.
took the liberty of copying a few of your old columns in case you wanted to refresh your memory. I think they can probably be reproduced without any editing at all.
Riley? Yes, hang on. Operator has a long-distance call from you. Galesburg, North Carolina.
Oh, well, that's just a story I'm working on. Tell them I'll take it in my office. I don't want to hold you up.
All right. Be my guest. I have some business to take care of down in the morgue.
All right, thank you. Edwina Lewis.
Cy Henderson, Edwina. How you doing?
Just fine. How are you?
Oh, can't complain. How's the weather up there?
Not as beautiful as it is down there, I'm sure.
Oh, I wish you could see the countryside around here these days. The azaleas in bloom, the dogwood.
Hi, I'm sure you didn't call me to give me a report on the changing seasons in North Carolina.
Well, I figure it never hurts to spread the good word up north.
Well, I'll tell everybody I know. Now, I hope you're calling me to tell me that you ran the article on Becky.
Well, now, that's right. I thought maybe you forgot.
Oh, no.
But I did remember you wanted to be notified. So I'm sending you along a copy of the paper. Oh, the story and the picture turned out real nice.
It does mention that she's in Landview now, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we even mentioned the place where she's working. In case anybody happens to get up that way and wants to get in touch with her. Edwina, I'm afraid I'm going to have to sign off now. Seems we've got a little problem with our old printing press. You take care, here?
I will, and thank you for calling, Cy. Goodbye.
I have the keys to this place. I called Tony's and he told me you were taking the morning off to do some studying.
That's right.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think there's some things we ought to discuss.
Like what, Brad?
Like trust. Like sticking together, helping each other, not tearing each other down.
If you're talking about what I told Dad last night...
Yes, of course I am.
Look, Brad, last night I told the truth for the first time, and I can't tell you how good it feels.
Sam, you betrayed our trust. I trusted you. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Brad, you asked me to lie for you. Look, I admit it was my mistake, okay? I'll take all the blame. I never should have taken that first step. I just never should have done it.
Well, maybe I should have never asked.
I just feel sorry for all the people that trust you. Like Jenny. Brad, she believes in you so much. When she finds this out...
What? Are you going to tell her?
I could never tell her.
Dad will. He will, Sam. Listen to me, if I were you, I wouldn't worry about Jenny. I'd worry about your own skin. Because when Dad goes to the cops, they're going to reopen the inquest. And you're going to be up on a perjury charge.
So, I had a long talk with Anna about it last night, and then I discussed it with Dad this morning over breakfast, and... Well, I honestly don't see how I'm going to be able to bring myself to go back and live in my house again. Is that unreasonable?
No. No, under the circumstances. But, Kathy, don't make any decisions yet.
Why?
Well, there's no hurry, is there? I mean, you said yourself, you could stay as long as you like with Jim and Anna.
That's right.
Well, why don't you let things settle a little, you know?
That's the second time you've done that.
What?
Well, that you've seemed like... I don't know, Will, like you're glossing over this whole thing.
I'm not glossing over it, Kathy.
Well, then why? Why did you say to me what you did last night? I mean, you practically guaranteed that whoever it was that broke into my apartment was not coming back.
I didn't think I was that positive about it.
Yes, Will, you were that positive about it. I mean, you make me feel like you think that I'm so paranoid that you've got to give me this false reassurance.
I don't think it is false.
Will, you're doing it again. I don't think that you realize how much this has upset me. I had a dream about it last night. I was sleeping in my old room at Dad and Anna's. I mean, I couldn't be more secure there. Talk about returning to the womb. I had this dream, and I walked to the window, and I looked out, and there was this man standing there. And then he turned around, and I realized suddenly that it was the man who had mugged me at the clinic last week. He had on that same awful mask and his beard, and I ran downstairs, and I just knew I had to get the door locked before he could get in. I don't think I can hold on. I feel like I'm falling apart.
General Hospital.
There is nothing that you can say that will discredit Mark in my eyes. I love Mark.
Katie's defiance of Lamont strengthens his desire to fight for her.
Well, I'll make you a bet that all of this will be over in a matter of days. I'm pretty sure of cancer. I don't think she'll ever come back to you, Lamont.
General Hospital. Today, following One Life to Live and President Carter's news conference.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to fall to pieces like that. I'm just being silly. Besides, my hour is up.
Kathy, look, why don't you come see me tomorrow?
Will, I don't see you again until Friday.
Yeah, I know, but we need to talk more, and, well, I think it can't wait.
All right, what time?
About 2.
2 o'clock would be fine. I wanted to ask you if I could come back again tomorrow, but I just thought you'd think that was more evidence of my paranoia.
We'll settle it tomorrow.
Settle?
Put your mind at rest.
Well, if you can do that, you'll be a miracle man. But I'll hold on to the thought. Hello, Jenny. Hi. Goodbye, Will. Thank you.
Hi, Jenny.
Do you have a minute?
Yeah, sure, come on in.
Well, I won't take much of your time. I know that Dorothy said you have someone coming in at 12 o'clock. I have to know what went on between you and Brad last night. Are you mad at me, Miss Hopkins?
No, I'm not mad, but I am disappointed.
Is it because I didn't tell Richard what happened down home? Or is it because I'm going to Europe with him without getting married?
Oh, Becky, whether you get married or not is your business. Well, yours and Richard's. I certainly am not going to pass judgment on that. But if you do go with him, you're making a commitment to him, now aren't you?
Of course I am. I'm giving him my life.
But you're not, don't you see? You're holding back a whole part of your life that you don't want him to know about. That part that you're ashamed of and feel guilty about.
Oh, I see. You're saying that before two people get married or even live together, they got to tell each other everything that ever happened to them. Is that what you mean?
Of course not. But in your case, your past has a special bearing on your relationship with Richard. Listen, you can push it to the back of your mind all you want to, but sooner or later he's going to find out. Well, I've asked you 1,000 times to tell him. I'm not going to ask you one more time. Obviously, it doesn't do a bit of good. Now, I will go put these in the sink, and then we can go.
Becca Lee, this here's Luke Jackson.
Pleased to meet you.
Mighty proud to meet you, Miss Becky.
Of course, you've seen Luke around ever since you was a little girl, haven't you? In town and such.
I've seen him, Papa.
I sure have noticed you. I mean, for a long time.
That's why he's here, young'un. He's real well situated, you know. He's got that whole quarter section of bottom land over in Sumter County.
Don't forget the feed store. Don't forget that, Mr. Jackson.
I ain't forgot it. And I reckon Becca Lee knows all about that. Anyways, Luke here's gonna be a real good provider for you.
Provider?
Yeah, he came over to the house last week and asked for your hand in marriage, and I told him I'd be proud to give you away.
taken away. Papa, you didn't ask me.
No sense in that. You not knowing Luke any better than you do. How could you? Anyway, a little old girl like you gotta trust your papa to know what's right. Luke, she's gonna make you a real good wife. And if she don't, I want to hear about it.
Becky. Sweetheart, what is it?
Out of touch with everyone at the moment.
Just great, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, he's the active control for over 20 agents in the area, and I'm sure I'm pretty low down on his priority list.
It's a pretty cool company you worked for, wasn't it?
You better believe it.
Switchboard know you're up here?
Yeah, right.
I gotta tell you this. Vicky knows all about it.
Joe, you shouldn't have told her.
I didn't tell her. She figured it out.
How?
From Paul, it was on the front page of our paper. She recognized the political terrorist group that you went underground with. She's a very smart lady. Didn't take her long to come up with a couple of conclusions.
Look, well, I'm sorry. I just hate for anyone else to be involved in this. Especially Vicky, since she's so close to Pat.
You know, Vicky's going to want to know that, too. What's going to happen to Pat? We have to find a way to keep Pat in the caravan.
That's exactly what I have been trying to figure out. Joe, I know these guys. Nothing can protect us from them. Whether it's personal bodyguards, stakeouts, round-the-clock surveillance.
Riley. Yeah, right.
Benedict? Ray, where the hell have you been? I've been leaving messages all over for you. All right, give it to me. For God's sakes, how did that happen? Nobody's to blame, huh? Right. Okay, Ray, thanks. I'll be in touch. A man answering Rivers' description boarded a plane at 8 o'clock this morning in St. Louis.
Headed for where?
Philadelphia. When the plane got there, he wasn't on it. Seems there were 2 intermediate stops, and the agency didn't have time to send men out at the airports.
And he got off at one.
Right. Cincinnati or Pittsburgh. It bungled it again, Joe. There's no doubt about it. They're on their way here.
Next on One Life to Live. Melinda and Peter's privacy is ruined by an unwelcome visitor.
Encore!
And Edwina runs to Dorian with the news.
I also saw Peter and Melinda. Oh, Dorian, I am so glad you were over your obsession for Peter, considering the way they were carrying on.
One Life to Live.
Today, after all my children.
Answering Arnold Rivers' description, boarded a plane in St. Louis at 8 o'clock this morning.
Headed for where?
Philadelphia. When the plane got there, he wasn't on board. Seems it made 2 intermediate stops, and the agency couldn't get men out to the airport in time.
And he got off at one of them.
Right. Cincinnati or Pittsburgh. Bungled it again. Well, there's no doubt about it, Joe. They're headed this way.
Like you could wrap your arms around the whole world and just hug it.
Oh, I don't think, Sam?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever thought of it quite that way before. Yeah, I guess so. Is that how you feel now?
Through years in the clinic, when spring would come around, I'd walk over the grounds and I'd see the trees coming to life and the grass turning green. And I think, this is what I'm doing.
Kind of grow
alive again?
Yes. Spring always gave me faith. Made me realize that it is possible to be free.
You are free now.
Yes. And the two things that I dream most about have happened. I'm free, and...
What? Come on, you're blushing. What is it?
Is a disaster area. I don't think Richard's done the dishes since the last time I was here. So why don't I just quick wash them up before we go shopping?
Okay, I'll draw him. Yell when you're ready. Uncle Marion.
We got too many mouths to feed around here, Becky Lee. You're old enough to leave, and Luke here needs you.
That's right, Becky. All them boys might need somebody. Cooking, sewing, dishes, things.
But them boys is as old as I am. I ain't no mother.
Now, Becky, once you become a wife, you will be.
I ain't gonna marry you. Oh, don't make me do this. I won't marry no stranger. I won't.
It's done decided, child. Luke here needs you, and Luke here's gonna have you.
No, I won't.
Richard didn't do the dishes. There's no detergent.
Oh.
Oh, honey. What happened by the time I came in here, went out in the kitchen, and came back out?
I was thinking about something I try to forget about. But those old memories, they keep coming back.
Yeah, well, which memory is this?
It was when Papa told me I had to marry Luke. Remember I told you that the other day?
Oh, well, I can imagine.
I gotta stop it, Miss Hopkins. I gotta stop all those awful thoughts from popping into my head. It's all behind me now. Well, it is. I'm going to Europe with Richard, and I'm going to live happily ever after. Come on, I'm going to go in the kitchen and look and see if there's some more detergent in the cabinet.
Settle up the rent with you.
You going somewhere?
I'll look up an old friend of mine.
My lordy me! You're finally going to catch up with her, huh?
Looks that way. If she manages to hightail it out of that town before I get there.
And when you get there, what are you going to do?
I ain't sure. Depends on Becky Lee and how she acts. When I get there, I'll figure it out. And I'll do whatever I think's right.
As far as the rent's concerned, you just owe me for this half a week.
Good. I was wondering if you was going to try to charge me for a full week.
Now would I do that to you?
Never can tell what people might do, can you?
That thing with you?
This gun goes where I go.
Yes, but up north they don't take as kindly to guns as we do down here.
So what?
And another thing is, if you're going to fly, they got all kinds of security at them airport. You just can't get on a plane with a gun.
Don't you worry none about this gun of mine. I got 3 different licenses and 3 different names. And one way or the other, this gun goes where I go.
It's very personal, Peter. I'd rather not talk about it.
Was it more mystery and intrigue?
No. Some things are just better not talked about.
Okay. Enough said.
Being out here, I know that Dorian isn't going to pop up any minute and ruin the moment.
Have you heard from her lately?
Not a word. It's amazing. I would have thought she'd be on the phone every 5 minutes, hassling me about the birthday gift, but I don't know.
You know, if you're not going to go to Europe, you're going to have to tell her so.
I know. I feel so good today. I think I'll gather up all my courage and do it this afternoon. Do you, think that she'll understand?
Probably not. You might try telling her that you think going to Europe is a good idea, but you'd like to do it next year.
Except that since I'm sure she wants to get me out of town now, it probably wouldn't make any difference to her.
Talking about Dorian has roughly the same effect as a cloud passing over the sun, so why don't we just not talk or think about anyone but ourselves? Pittsburgh. Both are very close.
Yeah, but
We have to assume it was, don't we?
Yeah, I guess we do.
What about Rivers' two friends? Could they have been on the same flight with him?
No, I doubt it. I think it's too risky for the three of them to travel together.
Well, let me tell you, Paul. When you court trouble, you don't do it in a small way, do you?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I think it's a wonder I'm still alive.
Talk to Ed Hall?
No, why?
Well, you said the federal agency alerted our police. Don't you think you ought to talk to him? Find out what his plans are?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, come in.
Sweetheart, I've been waiting to hear from you. Has anything happened? Well?
Jenny, sit down.
Well, I saw your car leaving. As I was driving up last night, I honked. I guess you didn't hear.
I guess not.
Anyway, when I got in the house, Brad was in a rage.
I'm sure he was.
What on earth happened between you two?
What did he tell you?
Nothing. He was just very upset.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that.
Well, I have witnessed some fights between you two. I've seen him get angry with you, but this is something else. Well, don't tell me you're not going to say anything either.
I'd rather not get into it right now. Not right now, Jenny.
I just can't imagine what it could be, why you can't talk to me about it.
I'm sorry.
Look, I am involved in this thing. I have to live with Brad. His reactions involve me.
I'm aware of that.
I've always been an intermediary between you two, right? I mean, I've been able to help out. So how can I help out if I don't know what all this is about?
Sometimes nobody can help. Especially when a father and son have the kind of relationship that Brad and I have.
All right, so I can't do anything. I can't help. I can't get in the middle. But I have a right to know, Will. I am his wife. Is that it? You're not going to tell me anything?
I'm afraid you're going to have to tolerate the situation in the silence, at least for now, Jenny.
Everything's under control.
Well, I'd like to hear the latest news, please.
Vicky, the latest news is that a man named George Furlow was murdered in St. Louis this morning.
Well, who is George Furlow?
George Furlow is a fellow agent of mine in the underground.
So he was murdered by the same men who escaped from prison.
That's what we think right now, yes.
I see. Well, then, that sort of confirms that they're going to be looking for you, right?
I'm afraid it does.
Sweetheart, there are federal agents all over Landview. I mean, our own police are in on the case.
Darling, there must have been federal agents all over St. Louis. They didn't do much good, did they?
Vicky, I wish I could tell you that you're wrong. I'm afraid I can't do that. And the chances are that Arnold Rivers and his friends are heading this way and with every intention of killing me if they can.
I don't see how you can be so calm.
Miss Joanne. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Tony Lord's in your office. He wants to see you.
Look, I can't see anyone right now.
Joanne, you tell Mr. Kendall's secretary that Mr. Kendall isn't... Okay. Apparently he's being very insistent.
Now, what does that mean?
You're like an educated guess.
Well, he wouldn't have any way of knowing about this, would he?
Looks like he might.
Look, all I need is Tony Lord flying off in 5 directions at this point. All right. Tell him I'll see him.
Okay, Joanne, Mr. Kendall's on his way down. with me and Mrs. Riley.
Look, Joe, you and Vicky don't have to be there.
We're all in this together, Paul. With Tony's temper, you might need a little support, shall we?
Well, it's after 1:30 and it's time to get our act on the road.
Couldn't we just wait a little while, Miss Hopkins? You know, rest up after we did the dishes and all.
Oh, you know what you remind me of? A wind-up doll. They wind you up and you walk and you talk and you even smile. But suddenly you stop and you look sad and you don't say anything and you don't move. However, Becky, you are the deluxe model. Wind you in a certain place and you cry.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Miss Hopkins. I do feel that way sometimes. You know, like somebody else is always pushing my buttons instead of myself.
Yeah, well, that's because you don't know really what you want to do.
Yes, I do. I decided.
Nuh-uh. You still have doubts. That is a decision without conviction. Becky, this is supposed to be the happiest time of your life.
Well, I'm going to be happy when I get over to Europe with Richard. I mean, it's going to be the only happy time I'll probably ever have.
But now,
Well, will you stop it with that butt you're always bringing up?
that but happens to be the reason why you get suddenly sad. Listen, Becky, I know you think that time is your friend.
Oh, quick, please, Miss Hopkins, wind me up. Make me laugh, make me happy. Don't push the other button, please. I want to go to Europe. I want to be happy with Richard. Please, I'm gonna, and I'm not even going to let myself stop me.
Thanks, Paul, and ladylike little touches. Holding my shirts. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Well, them things I miss most since Becky Lee run off. Them ladylike touches a man can't do.
Oh, you men can do them all right. You just make sure you never learn them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the squares, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, Stu. What's up ahead? What's behind?
No, too early for me.
You know how I feel about people not doing what I want them to do.
On the other hand, I am a mite thirsty. What do your sons think about you leaving?
They don't know nothing about it. But I reckon they'll figure it out once they see this picture of Becky Lee.
You mean you ain't even going to tell them you're going?
Ain't no need.
Well, what about just plain old goodbye?
Ain't much for goodbyes. Never have been. Anyway, my mind is concentrating on hellos at the moment.
Now, hold on here, Luke. Them boys are your own flesh and blood. How are they going to feel when they come over here and find out you just left town without so much as a wave?
Them boys, as you call them, is grown men now. They can take care of themselves.
Maybe that's how come Becky Lee took off without saying nothing. She learned it from you.
If I was you, I'd occupy my mouth with another swig of whiskey instead of talking about stuff that ain't none of your business. I will give you a message from the boys, though. Tell them if I need them, I'll send for them. If they need me, they know where to find me.
Yeah, well, when I give them that message, I'll just throw in a goodbye for you.
That's okay. Well, I'll tell you.
How are you going to get to Landview?
I heard one time about how there's a way to get between two places is a straight line. Well, I reckon I'm going to make me a straight line. Up north. She gotten prettier, ain't she?
but we all think we've guessed why you're here, so... I'm here because of what Vinny told Wanda this morning. Which was what? Something about the fact that there is a police protection for you and Pat. And when I called Pat to find out if she knew anything about this, I found out that she had been in the Caribbean for the last 3 days. Yeah, that's right. Why? What the hell is going on here?
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Can't believe it. I wish it weren't true, but I hope you're doing everything to find this fanatic. Well, I wouldn't count on them being captured. Why not? Look, they are trained revolutionaries. They know every trick in the book. Took years to put them in jail in the first place. And they were smart enough to get out. That's right. Nah, this is just marvelous. When is she coming back?
She's due home day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow? Well, you could have stopped her. How? I don't know. Call her. Tell her to stay down there a couple more days. Look, I can't do that. Well, then I'll do it.
Oh, you can't. Pat doesn't know anything about this. Any of us get on the phone to her and try and talk her into staying down there. She'll know then there's something wrong back here.
And if she knows that, she'll be on the next plane.
All right, maybe you're right. But what are the alternatives? If she comes back here, she's going to be in as much danger as he is. Look, she's getting all the protection she possibly can. And what happens if that isn't enough? You already said these people are damn clever.
What is it, Tony?
I think I might just have a solution.
All right, let's have it.
Vicky, what happens if you call Pat? Tony, look, I told you. I know. If you call, or if Joe calls, or if I call, she's going to get very suspicious. But what happens if just Vicky calls and says, I'm coming down for a couple of days, I want you to stay with me?
Me, huh?
You can get away, can't you?
Sure, I suppose I could, yeah.
All right, well then that's perfect. And once you get down there, you can talk her into staying over a couple more days. However long this thing takes to blow over. I don't see why Pat shouldn't go for that.
Darling, what do you think?
I wouldn't mind if you're out of town now. You'd be safer. And if it kept Pat from being harmed, then I'm in favor of it.
All right now.
Some stuff.
Me too.
Peter, you know what time it is?
Nope, but no.
It must be after 2. Aren't you supposed to be getting back to the hospital?
What hospital? Yeah, you're right.
Peter, these last 2 hours seemed like a gift.
You're the gift.
The other part of the dream that you wanted to know was that I'd find someone to care about me. Someone like you.
I have to settle this in my own mind before Brad gets here. I'm paralyzed. It's no good. Not for Brad. For Jenny. Not for Sam. Not for me.
Shut the door. Why bother? You want the world to know anyway, don't you?
Jenny came in to see me. something is very wrong.
Why didn't you tell her? Are you enjoying this too much?
Now cut it, Brad. This is your life on the line. You put it there.
Yeah, but my fate is in your hands. And I know how much you enjoy playing God. I mean, that's why you're in this office. That's why you do what you do. You really enjoy that. That's why you postponed telling Jenny. That's why you postponed your decision. I know you.
That's the difference between us, Brad. Because I don't know you at all.
All right, well, why'd you call me? Why am I here?
Get on that phone. Call Ed Hall. Now, you say you had nothing to do with Lana's death? There's no reason for you not to come clean with the police. Tell them you lied at the inquest. Tell them why.
That's great. And I suppose Ed Hall's going to have a hearty chuckle about it and forget the whole thing, and we will all just go on our merry way as if nothing had happened.
No, we can't go on that way. That's why I'm giving you this chance to take the initiative. If you are innocent, the truth will out.
Listen to me. I am innocent, damn it. But if the truth comes out, I will lose what little is left of my reputation. Dorian Lord will march in there, and she will take over the health club. My marriage will be destroyed. And Sam will be branded as a liar and a perjurer. But of course, you can sit there behind that desk and watch it all happen with a clear conscience. You can just sit there and smile because, boy, you've done something for justice.
You know, Brad, I'm in this too. This discussion we're having is an indictment against me. The man who produced you. The father who brought you up. The psychiatrist who doesn't understand you.
You forgot one of them. The husband who drove his wife to suicide.
Quite an amazing lunch. Usually when you're with Jack Scott, he does all the talking. But today, I talked and he ate 90 miles an hour and then rushed back to work.
Maybe that's because after your article, he's afraid to talk.
No, it's just his love and dedication to his work. You know, sometimes I get the feeling that he thinks he has to do everything himself or it'll never get done.
Well, I think it's about time for us to go.
Listen, I do want to apologize again for happening onto your idyllic little picnic. Lunch was over so fast, I thought I'd take the rest of my lunch hour to walk. It's so beautiful here.
It's okay, we were just finishing.
On the contrary, looks to me like quite a beginning. Oh, I'm sorry, am I embarrassing you? No. If you want to know the truth, I felt a very strong pang of jealousy. Spring is the time to fall in love, isn't it? Well, I really must be going. Hopefully, the next time we meet, I'll be with some gorgeous man, and we'll be having a picnic, too. So,
You all right?
she's going to tell Dorian about us.
So what? We don't have anything to hide.
She won't like it.
Lynn, remember, there's absolutely no reason that the two of us shouldn't be together.
Yes, operator. Oh, I see. Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to leave a message, please, for Mrs. Kendall. Would you ask her to call Victoria Riley in Landview at the Banner? The Banner, it's a newspaper. She has a number. Yes. Thank you very much. There was no answer in her room, and she didn't respond to the page. They said she might be back in about an hour.
All right, we'll wait.
Tell me something?
No, nothing particular. Just I love you very much. I love you. I love you, Jenny, and sometimes it just hits me in the middle of the day that I'm the luckiest man in the world because I've got you for my wife. that is due entirely to the fact that the kind of woman stick by her husband through anything. Wouldn't you?
Of course I would. Do you have to ask?
Yes, I guess I do.
Oh, I see. You came here today because you want to be told that you are loved and adored.
And married?
Yes. Very married. For life. Remember. Just how ravishing you were that night. Oh, I've missed you. I have missed you. Now, can you please tell me why two such good friends should have such a stormy relationship? As I recall, you were the one who began the storm. Yes, but if you remember your grammar school science, lightning always precedes a storm. Oh, let's just drop it. Let's just forget everything. All right. Definitely drop it. But I do have an answer to your question about why our relationship isn't smooth. Well, what is it? It's because we're so much alike, with one big difference. Oh, yes. I have the money and the power. Exactly. You have already what I want. By the way, I had lunch with Jack Scott today. Well, that's something that I don't want. Although it's nice to know that he eats, that makes him human, and I was beginning to doubt that. He asked after you. Well, I'm certainly not going to ask after him. It was a very short lunch, though. He had to go back to work. So I decided to take a stroll through the park. And you can't imagine what I saw. Well, I suppose you saw birds and trees and grass. Does that just about cover it? Not quite. I also saw Peter and Melinda. Oh, Dorian, I am so glad you were over your obsession for Peter, considering the way they were carrying on. Over Peter and Melinda. They were carrying on. Oh, yes. When I happened upon them, they were hugging, kissing, cooing. It was quite a love scene. Excuse me. Hello.
Hello, Dorian. This is Melinda.
Oh, Melinda. I was wondering if I was ever going to hear from you again.
Well, I've been thinking.
Is that what you've been doing?
Yes, about your offer. You know, the birthday present.
Yes, the present?
Well, listen, I was wondering if I could combine about half an hour or so and discuss it with you.
Oh, yes, of course. I would love to see you, and there is so much to discuss. Well, I'll expect you, about 5 o'clock?
Fine. Goodbye.
General Hospital.
It's about Lee.
Monica steps in to fight for Lee.
Don't you understand? I don't want to talk to you about anyone or anything. I'm not going to stand around and watch you destroy a relationship with a wonderful person without saying anything.
And Lamont has found a way to keep Katie.
Once she knows that I have the ammunition to destroy Mark's career, she'll change her mind about leaving me.
General Hospital. Watch today after One Life to Live.
I'm afraid it does just hang on you.
I knew I should have tried it on. So tired, though. Don't you think you could fix it, Miss Hopkins? Take it in or something.
No, It would make more sense if we take it back to the store and exchange it for the right size.
Well, that means another trip to the department store. Well, I hate department stores. All those things you can't make up your mind about and all those people.
Well, we don't have to do it today. We can do it tomorrow and the next day.
All right. I'm tired.
Well, how about a nice hot cup of tea? I think I saw an old tea bag in the refrigerator.
Well, she's yours now, Luke. Here's her belongings, what there is of them. So I guess I'll be going on home now.
Pop, please.
You're married now, honey. Your place is here with Luke.
That's right. This is your new home, Becky.
I want you to treat her right, Luke, like you said you would.
Of course I will. You think I'd harm anything as young, pretty, sweet as your daughter?
No, I don't. That's why I agreed to this. So, I guess I'll be going. Be seeing you.
Don't mind your pappy, Becky. I'm the man in your life now.
Well, I guess I better unpack my things.
You call them rags clothes? Well, I guess it don't matter. I ain't one for going anywhere much. Anyway, when it comes to woman, I always feel the less clothes, the better. Where do you think you're going? We're married now, remember?
The water's almost boiling. It'll be a few minutes. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. You've wound down again, haven't you?
Looking at all these clothes makes me know how different things are with Richard. How different things are going to be. How lucky I am.
Well, you're only about 5 hours late, but at least you're here. What? You know, I think it might have been nice if you would have called to say that you couldn't make it for lunch. Dorian, you didn't invite me for lunch. Oh, then you must have forgotten. No, I didn't forget. There was no invitation to forget. Please, don't belabor this. You probably just had one of those little... Dorian, you did not invite me for lunch. Well, are you calling me a liar? No. Listen, you probably thought that you had asked me and you forgot. All right, fine, please. Let's just leave it at that, all right? Now, you said that you wanted to come over to discuss the trip. So when would you be able to leave? Dorian, I'm not going. Listen, it was a wonderful gesture of you, but I've thought a lot about it, and it's not right for me right now. Well, is that final? Yes. Dorian? Dorian, are you all right? Dorian?
Vicky, it's been well over an hour. She should have returned your call by now.
They gave her the message.
But I told him it was important. I'll call again. Hello? Hello, yes, I'd like to speak with Mrs. Patricia Kendall, please. Thank you, I'll hold. She must be there. Hello, what? What? Well, that's impossible. Are you sure? But did she say why? When was this? I phoned you an hour ago. No, never mind. Thank you.
Vicky, what is it?
She checked out of the hotel at 11 o'clock this morning.
11 o'clock?
But they told you an hour ago she was just out of her room.
I didn't ask. I presumed she was.
Charlene, would you get me the manager of the hotel? Pat Kendall was staying out in the Caribbean, please. Make it fast.
Oh, my God. That's 10 o'clock here. Rivers was seen in St. Louis at 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh, Paul, that rules him out. No way he could have gotten to the Caribbean by 10.
But Cantrell could have, or someone that was working with them.
Do you think they... Paul, Pat checked out by herself, voluntarily. If there'd been any suspicious circumstances, the manager would have told me about them.
What if she were drugged?
Drugged? Oh, Paul,
Vicky, the thing you've got to understand is that these people are capable of anything.
But you said yourself you were the one who put them behind prison bars. If they want revenge, they're going to go after you and not Pat.
No, honey, not necessarily. They know how difficult Paul is to get to. All the federal agents all over the place, the security.
Well, is there any way to find out then what flight she was on or where she was going?
The agency could find out quicker than we could. Charlene, would you call Ray Benedict in Washington, please? Yeah, it's the number I gave you this morning, and tell him it's urgent, all right? Good, thanks.
Paul, I'm sure that there's a very simple explanation for all of this. I expect Pat got bored and then went to one of the other islands. Or decided to come home a day early.
But she left without giving any notice. Isn't that what they said?
Whatever it was, it was an impulse of hers. And the hotel was annoyed. They always get annoyed when people leave before their stay is up.
Kendall. No, Ray. No, I'm all right, Ray. Yeah. Look, I need your people to do something for me. My wife has been in the Caribbean for the last couple of days, all right? And she checked out of her hotel this morning without any word as to where she was going or why. And I need to, Yeah, that's good. Can you check it out for me? Right.
Excuse me, Mr. Kendall.
Oh, wait, hold on a second, right? Yeah, Shirley.
Sorry to interrupt, but there's an urgent call for you on your other line.
Who is it?
Your wife.
Where is she?
Well, she didn't say, but she sounds very upset.
Okay, thanks. Ray, look, I'll get back to you, okay? Right. Pat?
Oh, Paul. Thank God I finally reached you. I don't think you believe me. It would be that I was so afraid that something had happened to you.
Pat, where are you?
I'm home. I just walked in the house.
Home? Are you all right?
Yes, I am fine now that I hear your voice.
Pat, we have been trying to reach you. Why did you check out of your hotel early?
Oh, well, because I saw this piece in the New York paper. I mean, they get it down there by airmail. About Rivers and Cantrell.
My God. I should have realized. But hold on. She saw the piece in the paper about Rivers and Cantrell, and she was worried about me, so she came back. Pat, look. Stay where you are, huh? I'll be right home.
No, you don't need to. I mean, I know you're all right.
No, look. We have to talk. But before you do anything else, I want you to lock the front door, bolt it, and don't open it to anyone. And if you need help for any reason before I get there, open the drape on the big front window, okay? The agents will see that, and they'll come in.
Agents?
The house is under surveillance for our protection. But if they want to get in touch with you, they'll do it by phone.
Well, I don't understand. I mean, why didn't they stop me from coming in?
Well, they probably recognized you. I mean, they've been briefed on the situation. Look, I'll answer all your questions when I get there, okay? Sit tight. I'll be there in about 15 or 20 minutes.
Paul, be careful, please.
Don't worry. I've got a door-to-door escort, okay? I'll see you later.
You all right?
She's fine. She's scared to death, that's all. Look, I'll talk to you both later, okay?
All right.
I'm going to call Tony and Ray reassure him.
Reassure?
Yeah. Tell him that Pat is back, at least. What are they going to do?
Well, that's what Paul's going to discuss with Pat.
Yeah. But what are their options? Hello, Wanda? Oh, hi, it's Vicky. Yes, hi. May I please speak with Tony? Oh, I see. Do you know where I can reach him? No. No, ask him just to call me back as soon as he can. I'm in Paul Kendall's office. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Charlene, get me Benedict in Washington, will you please?
Joe, can you answer a question for me? Where can they go? What can they do?
Wish to God I knew.
Doreen, wait. Please, let me explain. There is no need to explain. I know everything perfectly well. No, you don't. That's what I'm trying to say. Listen, your gift was very generous, and I really appreciate it. You just can't accept it. Doreen, I just can't take 6 months off and go to Europe. Don't you see that? No, why not? Well, I've got a job. I just can't walk out on Tony. Your reservations are 3 weeks away. Now, that's adequate notice. Yes, I know. But I just don't want to quit right now. I mean, I like the job. And what happens if I get back and I can't find another one? Well, Linda, you don't need a job. Now, how many times do I have to tell you that? Dorian, financially, no, I don't. But can't you understand that maybe I have personal needs? Oh, please, I don't need to have you explain to me your feelings. I know exactly what's happened. You've grown apart from me. Now, all that love and closeness that we had is gone. And you seem determined to pay me back for some things that you think I did to you. Dorian, that's not true. Well, Linda, what did I do that was so wrong? So wrong that you can't love me? I mean, every time I reach out for you, you reject me. Now, just how long can someone accept that kind of rejection? Especially if it's from one's own flesh and blood. Now, we're all that we have of each other. You're my most important relationship, and now you've destroyed it.
Come on, it's gonna be all right. Come on, inside. Hey, you look great.
Oh, yeah, they look really terrific. The scarab just dripping all down my face.
No, really, I mean, you have a tan and you look rested. Why didn't you stay put?
I told you, I saw this piece in the paper and I just immediately thought
Look, you would have been much safer where you were.
I wanted to be with you. What is happening? What's been going on?
Well, there's nothing much. I talked to Ray Benedict on the phone just before you called, and
They haven't found the man.
not yet.
Do they have any leads?
Yeah, it looks good.
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if they have to have our house protected, and you have to have an escort take you back and forth to work.
It's just a precaution.
I want to know the truth. I have a right to know.
All right. They don't know where Cantrell is, but the indications are that Rivers is headed east.
That means that he could be headed here.
Right.
Now I understand.